Alright, welcome back guys. So, we have another hanging. Another black person has decided to off themselves by hanging. Interesting method. Sheriff officials release new details in the hanging of Malcolm Harsch. Okay, so they got a 911 call from a female saying her boyfriend hanged himself. Sheriff's Department personnel at the scene, including the coroner investigator, did not recover any evidence to suggest foul play. Although there remains no sign of foul play, the forensic pathologist is waiting for toxicology results before assigning the cause and manner of death. Okay, so, no sign of foul play. Period. Right? San Bernardino County Sheriff's officials released new information and said they are continuing their investigation into the death of 38-year-old Malcolm Harsch after he was found hanging from a tree. According to a news release on May 31st at 7:07 a.m., Sheriff's Dispatch received a 911 call from a female saying her boyfriend hanged himself. Deputies from the Victorville Police Department and medical aid responded to the vacant lot, which is a dirt field between Circle Drive and Victor Drive. So, Mr. Harsch and his girlfriend are both homeless. According to the release, the caller said that she and her boyfriend, later identified as Malcolm Harsch, had been together during the morning, but she had since returned to her tent for a short period of time. She was alerted by others in the encampment that Mr. Harsch was found hanging from a tree and cut down. People in the encampment were performing CPR, attempting to revive Mr. Harsch, stated the release. Sheriff's officials said when deputies arrived, they immediately took over and continued CPR. Emergency medical personnel arrived a short time later, and despite having additional life-saving efforts, pronounced Mr. Harsch deceased. Sheriff officials said a coroner investigator responded to assist with the investigation. A thorough investigation was conducted at the scene to recover any evidence to assist with the investigation. Sheriff's Department personnel at the scene, including the coroner investigator, did not recover any evidence to suggest foul play. Detectives from the Victorville Police Department are continuing to investigate the death and have interviewed several people who were at or near the location at the time. A man by the name of Polly Alvarez commented on the Victor Valley News Facebook page and said she hesitated about speaking out. However, she felt it was necessary to end the speculation that it was a lynching. Okay. Polly said the incident happened right next to her church building. When we pulled him off, his body was still warm, and I did CPR on him for 15 minutes until police and fire arrived. So she's saying it's not a lynching, right? Victorville City spokeswoman Sue Jones said when Victorville City fire crews arrived, they observed CPR being performed by bystanders. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here's the narrative that we want, or that the left wants to put together.
We believe that foul play was involved. We do believe that white nationalism, white racism, white supremacy is on the rise because of the rise of Black Lives Matter.
In a press release,
okay, now listen to this.
Believe that foul play
is also involved in the investigation.
We do believe foul play was there. He says we believe there was foul play, but look at how he tries to associate white supremacists by doing it without actually saying it, because he doesn't say we believe white supremacists did it. He says we believe white supremacy and white nationalism is on the rise because of Black Lives Matter, but he never actually associates those groups with this hanging. But that's what your brain does if you're not paying attention. So listen again.
We do believe that foul play was involved. We do believe that white nationalism, white racism, white supremacy is on the rise because of the rise of Black Lives Matter.
But doesn't have anything to do with this, right?
The autopsy
so, let's go back.
Recently told them that there wasn't any physical...
He looks like a stand-up guy, right? A tattoo artist that's homeless.
Evidence suggesting foul play.
That sound like
but
some
family
clean
members
tattoos.
Still believe Malcolm was murdered.
All he talked about every day was his kids, his kids, his kids.
Really, all he talked about every day was his kids, his kids, his kids. Then why is he homeless, homeless, homeless?
Henry Bennett claims to be Malcolm's best friend of the past 2 years. He says Malcolm was homeless, and during the days leading up to his death, he was also sad because he was going to miss the graduation of one of his 8 kids. Still, Henry believes Malcolm wouldn't kill himself.
No, I know my boy, man. He's not gonna do nothing like that.
Okay, so that's his best friend, who's missing a bunch of teeth and has part of a broken off cigarette in his ear, and is also homeless. So, we have a few options. The one that everybody is going to want to press forward, regardless of what any of the evidence say, is that this was a racist attack, and he was hung because he's a black man. I don't really understand why you're trying to take a home. If that's the case, why pick a homeless person? Like, you're not really doing anything. It's not like he's. Anyway. And then you have a couple other options. One, he's depressed because he's homeless and he decided it was time to end it. Or two, and you guys aren't going to like this one, right? Maybe he's tired of watching the black community act the way it is and was like, oh, fuck, man. I'm tired of being associated with these people. There's food for thought. We'll see you in the next one.